So what is the prison abolition movement? Well, first off, it is the dismantling of the wholesale of prisons, as seen in the Gilmore article. And this is not the reform of prisons, because reform actually strengthens these institutions, which is stated by Angela Davis and others. So why are these institutions so bad? Why do you need abolition? Well, it's a social, political, and economic problem that the government faces, and they result in it through this Keynesian economics militaristic situation where they result in a next step to solve any of these issues is through prisoners, to create even, let's say, like a tax force or a workforce for tax reasons when there is work demand. Like, for example, prisoners increase when employment can't keep up with the labor force. So the income of low-income people who are in this lower section of the labor force, who are actually usually marginalized, racial, and lower-class people that don't have an employment, and then this results in higher school dropouts, which keeps them in this sector, a cyclical problem, and makes more prisoners, resulting in people having to find different ways to make money and live, purpose. Anyhow, this then is considered the crime tax when you get arrested. The tax in the work that you do, it's the crime tax, or the surplus labor tax we were talking about. So these people who are poor in the best conditions of their life, who are usually not white-raced individuals, men and women, results in the prison system, and it creates the poverty tax, is what they call it. So abolition actually is a movement to end this racial capitalism, also considered, if you want to think about it, is slavery. And we have to get the populace to understand this, and we have to educate and change. But that'll be followed up on the next slide about what we can do once abolition happens. And the problem is it's going to be a hard route, because historically, when there's been attempts at social change to fix social crisis, political crisis, or capital disorder, capital crisis, economic crisis, it results in the state still wanting control and having state intervention form on the public with state intervention. And it's considered, as in the Gilmore text, as individualized disorder. And that's instances which gives way for more arrests and state-sanctioned killings. But this can be propagated by the state itself. For example, if you look back at the COVID pandemic in the United States, in a lot of parts of the world actually, but we can generally just all over the United States, in cities, when there was upheaval and people wanting to change any situations, and this has been Black Lives Matter movement, all these different, any social change movement that you see, the militarized police force, also the state's henchmen, as you could call them, will enact, they'll break things, they'll make things look like a riot, which allows them, as this individualized disorder happened, which allows them to further arrest and kill people. So the goal is to abolish this system, but it will be hard. Social change instead of prisons. Anyhow, to talk further about what can replace the prison systems, that'll be in the next slide.